Okay, so this is a message about some of the common tactics and strategies that are used against folks that have been trapped into some type of a cult situation where people are trying to sacrifice them or their children for whatever reason. And cult can be a community, a group, an organization. It doesn't have to be spiritual, but in often cases, it is where there's occult rituals being practiced in order to execute what their goal is against the target. Okay, so if the target has children or adult children, especially adult differently abled, they have practitioners to, their plot and plan and scheme is to separate the target from that adult disabled offspring. So they sabotage the health and well being, the resources, so that they can create this situation where it appears that the caretaker is not able to take care of the adult disabled person. So they're doing that the entire time. They're stealing, they're blocking resources, they're sabotaging, they're attempting to poison, they're doing everything that they can to dysregulate and alter the intelligence and the health and well-being of the target so that they can't fulfill their role properly, fully, but making it look like it's something that's to their fault or detriment, even if it's claiming a mental illness, claiming some kind of imbalance, whatever cockamamie stories that they come up with. Okay. And on the other side of it, they do start to manipulate. They'll do on the spiritual side chaos and conflict, energies and rituals against the relationship of the target and their offspring, okay, to create a problem, okay. Then if they feel like that person doesn't have power of attorney, and this is what their goal is, to attempt to get power of attorney, once they know that the target doesn't have it, they will try to sabotage the target from being able to get it. And then they will try to manufacture some type of legal issues and trouble for the target. They will try to provoke them to do something to break the law so that they can get in trouble. They will try to do any and everything they can, create arguments, fights, something to get the target caught up. But they also have practitioners doing spell work, mind control, mental magic, compels, dominations, brain injections, thought injections into the disabled to not want to be with their caretaker, which is possibly the only one that actually do love and care for them, um, so that they can create an event and create a scenario where there will be legal or law officials, police officials saying, hey, let us know if you don't want, target's name, blase, blase, to care for you anymore. The reason why I'm sharing all of this is because these are all the things that they're doing to me and my son. But this is not the only thing that they do, and I'm not the only ones that they're doing this to. These are covert control tactics. Sabotage the target, sabotage their stability, using psychological warfare tactics, using a negative environment, destruction to environments, hindering their ability to stabilize, affect their health, affect their resources, affect that of the child, so that they can then come in and go, and voila, this person is not fit to care for this person. We got to report this, or we see that this person has on the same clothing and things of that nature. And I have to teach and say this because it's like the world doesn't know about it. And these are things that are exploited. When somebody has suffered from narcissistic abuse, when an autistic, a neurodivergent, or, differently abled people, I've been educated on the topic. Okay. And when there has been trauma, their life has been, turned upside down due to circumstances that's to no fault of theirs or their caretaker for that matter. They seek to have a sense of control and stability and security. And a part of that is what you wear. Okay. There's also studies that talks about why is it difficult to self-care after narcissistic abuse. If somebody's draining your energy, somebody's attacking you, and all of these things. So they take advantage and exploit these situations. Now, unbeknownst to people, if folks got a washing machine, you can wash clothes and basically put them in, you recycle them. You can wear them as often as you want. Okay? Who's to say there's a rule against that? That's a societal thing. You know what I'm saying? But this whole, they have on the same clothes, like basically just looking for any way, shape, form, or fashion to claim that the target is unfit, hiding the fact that they're trying to make sure that the target can't fulfill. Because when the target is in the positions that they've created for themselves to stabilize, you see a different energy. You see the disabled offspring in a better state, and you see the target in a better state of being to some degree, because often this stuff is still happening, but you can visually see the difference. Okay. So I just wanted to share that. So they'll start doing spell work, because that's also a part of spell work. We have heard things like breakup spells, compels, domination. So they started to try to sow that seed so that they can get control over these disabled people. Let us know if you don't want your caretaker anymore. Trying to get rid of the caretakers, like I said, the ones that actually care for them and love them, so that they could either become wards of the state or some corrupt relative that's been abusing them that doesn't really care, lurking around trying to wait for an opportunity. Yeah, those types of things. And that is what they have, the dwelling spot. That's a part of their assignments, the people that dwell in the vicinity of the target or the targeted individual's offspring. So that would include any neighbors, residents, managers, officials, anything that's near them to try to create this case. Even situations like calling the cops. So when they do all this abuse on the target, digging through their trash, being spooky and creepy and weird, and all sorts of stuff that they're pretending to not do, and the target calls the cops, and the cops come with their cameras on their bodies, because nowadays I believe most cops in most states in the U.S. has to have that. So if the house, they got bags of garbage in there or anything like that, these are all things that they're trying to use to create a case. And due to ignorance, people will just look at first glance and think, oh my God, yes, surely something's wrong here. Oh my God, by golly, Sally, there's something wrong here. We need to step in. Okay? That's all BS. This is all manufactured. And the videos that I've been sharing lately, how they've been trying to interfere with me, trying to get the necessary resources and things in place to get things in order, is also proof of that. Because why would they want to distract the target from being able to stabilize and better their lives to take care of their children or their offspring? It's because they have an agenda. Huh? This is what's being done to my son and me. This is why they're always trying to do energy work on me and my mind. This is why they're always doing shit on him. This is why they are tracking my every freaking move. This is why they're tapped into my device. This is why they get so upset if anybody show me an inkling of kindness for 10 minutes. This is why their witches, warlocks, wizards, and sorcerers are constantly practicing rituals, are spending most of the bulk of their waking hours doing spell work and plotting and scheming. And this is why all of a sudden in neighborhoods that you barely heard sirens, this is why you start hearing an increase of those things on a daily basis, even if it's not a particular season. There's stuff to it that the rest of the world just is not privy to. But we're going to do something about all this, aren't we?